the blessings of this day and every day. We ask that you give us guidance, you give us wisdom, you give us understanding. Bless this great city that we live in, this great state that we live in, and this great nation that we live in. In thy name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, please continue with the printed agenda.
No, not really. I'm sorry. Isn't that set up right? Hang on, I'm twisted up.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
without objection, could we take 1 through 8?
We have to do the minutes separately, then we can.
Okay. Who's the mayor down there?
He's got it right.
Item 1, do you want me to proceed? I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 1's request to approve the minutes of the November 9th, 2017 City Council meeting.
Move for approval. Motion and a second. Anybody want to talk about anything? Nothing? All right. Call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison is not here. Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King?
Aye.
Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 2 is the,
Now, Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
may we take number 2 through 10 with the exception of anybody that's got something to discuss on a particular item by
Yes, sir.
title only?
Items 2 through 10.
2 through 10? These are all final readings of ordinances. Item 2 is the final reading of an ordinance rezoning the property at 3302 Florida Avenue, TMS 46908000039, from R1 single-family residential to R2 multifamily residential, and amending the comprehensive plan's future land use map for the same parcel from single-family traditional to multifamily residential. Item 3 is the final reading of an ordinance rezoning the property at 2011 Carver Avenue, Charleston County, TMS 46908, Lot 132, from R1 single-family residential to B2 general business, and also amend the comprehensive plan's future land use map for that parcel, changing it from institutional to major business retail. Item 4 is the final reading of an ordinance rezoning the property at 4872 Sanders Avenue, Charleston County, TMS 47113, Lot 16, from R1 single-family residential to R1A low to medium density residential. 5 is the final reading of an ordinance rezoning the property at 5101 Ashley Phosphate Road, Dorchester County, TMS 18100, Lot 88, from B3 commercial, recreation, and highway-oriented uses and M1 light industrial to B2 general business, and concurrently amend the comprehensive plan future land use map for the same parcel, changing them from highway-oriented use and light industrial to major business retail. 6 is the final reading of an ordinance rezoning the property addressed as 4554 Durant Avenue, Charleston County, TMS 47006, Lot 202, from B1 limited business to R2 multifamily residential, and concurrently amend the comprehensive plan future land use map for the same parcel, changing it from neighborhood commercial to multifamily residential. Item 7 is the final reading of an ordinance rezoning the property addressed as 4036 Cornwell Avenue, Charleston County, TMS 47014, Lot 224, from R3 mobile home residential to R2 multifamily residential. 8 is the final reading of an ordinance amending Article 10 of the North Charleston zoning ordinance in order to make adjustments to the previously established Old North Charleston neighborhood, historic, and conservation districts.
I entertain a motion for recommendation of the committee.
You wanted me to go to 10?
Well, I think because we had a committee meeting last night, typically that would be on the agenda item, and we didn't have time to get those on the agenda item. We need to make clear what the committee's recommendations were on these items.
I have them written down here.
You have them written down. If you want to go through those, I think that's important because I know one of them, item 6, was a recommendation for denial, and so we don't want to get confused over.
We can hold there, that's fine.
Let me go back. Item 2 was recommended for approval unanimously. Item 3, the Carver Street, was recommended 9-1. For approval, I'm sorry, yes. Item 4 was recommended for approval unanimously. Item 5, Ashley Phosphate, was also recommended for approval unanimously. Item 6 was recommended unanimously for denial. Item 7 was recommended unanimously for approval. Go what?
6 was denial?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm confusing with the apart town.
Where am I at now? 8?
Yeah, 8.
8. That's the amendment to the code. That was also unanimously recommended for approval. And now I'm at number 9, which was also recommended unanimously for approval. It is the final reading and report for an ordinance adopting a bill to annex an area known as 52Q at 4507 Dorsey Avenue, Charleston County, TMS 41011, Lot 034, making it part of the present City Council District 5, amending the zoning map of the City of North Charleston to zone the property B2 General Business and amend the comprehensive plan for that same parcel, changing it from multifamily residential to major business retail. Number 10 is the final reading of an ordinance for the annexation of Section 52R, TMS number 40407000023.
Okay, we have a motion for approval, both of those annexations. Okay, sir.
Mr. Mayor and members of council, with regard to the 2 pending annexations before you tonight, entitled 52Q and 52R, the records of the assessor and auditor for Charleston County have been checked. The petition bears the signature of 100% of the freehold property owners, representing 100% of the assessed value of the parcels. The ordinance is in proper form, and council may adopt it upon second reading if it so desires.
Hear a motion for approval of each of the recommended, what was recommended by committee.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
would it be wise that we move with the approval of items 2 through 5 and then come and do the denial to keep things halfway in order and then move with the approval of the others that we spoke of?
Well, I think it's all listed now as part of the record with
Okay.
what she read, so we're clear. Have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And I just want to discuss item number 3. And just want to say thank you, Mr. Hart, for bringing that for discussion. It was from last night, dealing with B2 rezoning. And Mr. Sutton is here tonight, and I appreciate him speaking of what he wants to get done with that B2. B2 is kind of like a wide gamut, and I didn't know exactly where he was going with it. And I guess with nonprofit in the artist studio is something that I'll be in approval of. So I want to say thank you, and I think we'll be able to work together.
Good. Very good. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson? Mr. Olds, you want me to?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King?
Aye.
Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Mr. Mayor?
Question just came up about the O'Hare property. We approved the rezoning in committee last night.
That will be on the December 14th.
Very good.
That was first reading.
For its final reading and a public hearing.
December the 14th.
Thank you.
Yes.
Very good.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
you think we can do items 11 through 13 title only?
Yes, sir.
E11 is a resolution accepting Crescent View Drive, Dover Creek Street, and a portion of Sageboro Drive into the city system for maintenance. 12 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to accept the donation of a 1-acre parcel of real property located off of South Carolina Highway 61. And 13 is a resolution to approve an engineering contract with Davis and Floyd for sidewalk installations.
Have a motion?
Move for approval.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, the clerk please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King?
No on 12.
No on number 12. Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy?
Aye.
You skip one.
Who did I miss?
I'll vote aye as well.
Who voted no?
Mr.
Mr. King, I'm sorry.
He messed up the pattern.
He really did. Just kidding.
Can't take care of what we got now.
Apologize. You ready for the rest of them?
Yes, ma'am. How about we can lump those?
Sure
14
can.
through 17 by title only, please.
Yes.
Item 14 is a request to approve Charleston Marathon Finish Line Festival to be held on East Montague Avenue in the Old North Charleston Business District. Item 15 is a request to approve the accommodations tax funding requests for 2018. 16 is a request to transfer a fire department vehicle to the Low Country Firefighter Support Team, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And 17 is a request to approve appointments to the North Charleston Citizens Advisory Commission on Community and Police Relations.
Have a motion? Have a second. Any discussion? And those two that are being appointed are from District 3, Tracy Hatchell, and from District 9, Dale Davis. Sir?
Why these people have been replaced?
They resigned.
One of them, I know District 9, Mr. Grant was just really unable to attend the meetings and didn't attend them, and so they have a policy if you miss a certain number in a row that they can replace you, and they recommended that. I'm not sure about District 3, but I suspect it was the same thing.
Well, that Hatchell, was he the fireman or the policeman?
This is the wife.
Yes,
No, but
He was a fireman, now he's a policeman, now he's a fireman.
he's a policeman now?
No, he's a fireman now.
He's a fireman now?
Yes, sir. Any other questions?
And there's no problem with that appointing somebody that's...
I've already checked and it's not.
Huh?
I've already checked and it's not. It's not him, it's the wife. Okay,
That's
have
all
a
I
motion and a second. Clerk, please call the roll.
I thought I did, I'm sorry. Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson? Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King?
No on that appointment on District 3.
No on number 17. Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy?
Aye.
Motion carries.
We have one request to speak, Mr. Anthony Bryant. I don't believe he's here. Without objection, meeting's adjourned.
Happy Thanksgiving, folks.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Thanks, same to y'all.
You guys.
Wish you don't love me no more.
Good stuff.